Good afternoon. Can everybody hear me okay? Like all right? Fantastic. Thank you for coming. Thank you for coming to hear the Cleveland Chamber Collective. We're very excited to have you. We have wonderful news. We have 3 surveys left. So, but I'll get to that in a moment. We have a really exciting concert for you today. It's also being live streamed, so those who couldn't make it can enjoy it from home or wherever. So, to get started, I'd like to thank a few people. We are generously supported financially by Ohio Arts Council, Cuyahoga Arts and Culture, the Bascom Little Fund. We are partnered here with Disciples Church, who is doing the live streaming and helping with sound. We would like to thank Apollo Spire for the use of their rug and their platforms. John Ferchari came through in a big pinch. Erie Fire Sound, Jonathan here is doing the live recording of the show and helping with some projection. He's been fabulous. He's been working with us the last few shows. If you go to our YouTube page, you can check out Oathbreaker, or you go to the SoundCloud, you'll hear lots of recordings that Jonathan's done of us. He's been doing a great job. We'd also like to introduce Ellen Ruth Harrison, who's joining us from Cincinnati. You'll hear a fabulous piece of hers, and you'll get a chance to hear from her in a little bit. A moment about the programs. All the information you need is, of course, inside. However, if you would like, there's more information also online, or if you're like me and wear multiple glasses, and sometimes it's easier to read it on your phone because you can expand the text. It is available on a PDF on our website. If you go to our programs and hit the poster of this concert, you'll get a PDF. You can download it to your phone and read at your leisure. There are some hot links that'll take you on a deeper dive to learn more about the composers. I think you'll find that fascinating. There's lots to learn about all the people that we're featuring today. Okay, so in addition to our programs, we do have surveys. Now, all those fabulous people who are providing us with funding, we report to them every year. And part of that reporting includes how what we do impacts the community. Right, the music community, the community of people that we live with and work with and play with, and it's invaluable. The feedback that you provide us, we turn that straight into narrative to help us articulate what's going on with what we do and who's enjoying it and how it's being enjoyed. So please, please, please take a moment to fill that out. It's all on one page, but if you have more wonderful things to say, the whole back page is available and it's free form. If you want, draw a Pegasus, that's fine too. Also, on the back of your program, many people have been donating in a hat. Thank you very much. This is free will. We really value, actually, part of our mission, I should say this, you could read about it in the program, is that we really value accessibility. We believe that great music is a right and should be accessible to all people. That includes all people. And so one of the greatest things that we can do is we can do this for free, in great spaces like this, that's accessible to all kinds of people. We can live stream it. We're near enough to public transit. We have a great parking lot. So there's a lot of great things that go behind this. But we have public funding, and any support that you would like to provide is welcome. Very, very welcome. You can do that in a couple of different ways. If you are the cash-carrying variety, thank you so much for the hat. But we also have a QR code on the back of the program. That'll take you to our donation page on our website, and you can deliver through PayPal that way. We are a 501c3 organization, obviously, and we'd be happy to write letters and receipts for you so you can use those towards your tax deductions. I think that's all I have to say, except for the first piece up is Blaze by Rena Espan. Well, I hope you found that interesting. Yeah, wasn't it a fabulous piece? It was so great when we first bumped into it a year and a half ago. Emily's like, Dylan, would you please play this with me? And Dylan went to the woodshed and had to learn himself a whole new way of drumming. So it was fabulous. At this point, I'd like to invite Ellen Ruth Harrison to tell you a little bit about our next piece. Ellen?
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely.
Yeah, okay, I guess I'm talking about you, correct? And thank you for coming. It's a pleasure. I'm glad we were able to come up from Cincinnati and hear this performance. So a lot of what I'm going to tell you is already in the program notes. I had this experience in the north of Germany in an incredibly snooty restaurant where we just all felt kind of intimidated. And the worst part of it was that I ordered noodles with, I'm forgetting the name already in English.
Chanterelle.
Thank you. With chanterelle mushrooms. And they had sand in them. So not only was it intimidating, but it was a kind of a terrible experience. I don't think I ended up eating very much. So we were kind of laughing about it, you know. I mean, I really wasn't very hungry. I think it was an appetizer, so it didn't really matter. But we were laughing about it at the table, and then we noticed that there was part of the menu had these salad names that were incredibly beautiful. You know, just so flowery, you know, what are they? Pomeranian Garden, Küstenimpressionen, coastal impressions. They sound a little more flowery in German, I guess, than they do in English. Sechskräutersalat, 6-herb salad sounds a little bit more prosaic, but at the time it just seemed very flowery. And my husband said, you should take this and use these as a piece. And I thought, you're right. And of course I should have asked, but I decided since my meal was so awful, I wasn't going to ask. It was only a photocopy. I would have asked if it had been some fancy printed thing, but it was a photocopy, so I figured it was okay. But anyway, the climate there is very kind of rough. It's raw and a lot of wind blowing. So in 3 of the movements, there's just a lot of continuous motion that kind of reminds me of the wind consistently blowing. It does get interrupted though, as you know, as wind will, and you know, it changes direction and all that kind of thing. And then 2 of the movements kind of take their inspiration from the character of the salad. Described like a cucumber salad, it's like cucumbers, they do have that tough outer skin, but inside is very pale. And that's kind of what I was thinking of. And then dandelion salad, of course, is just, can be bitter. And you know, so, and the edges are all jagged, so that's kind of a little bit strident sounding, and it switches back and forth. And then tomato salad, it's, I can't really pronounce the name in Polish. I don't know, in German it's Stettin. That's a little bit easier for me to pronounce anyway. But that was the first city that the Jews were deported from, and during the Holocaust, and so I made this movement, of course, very melancholy to reflect that. And that is all. Sorry, I think I could remember my own piece, right? In any case, why did I pick flute and viola? Well, I have a friend out in California who's a violist, and she plays with the group Earplay, and she said, you know, Ellen, you should write a piece. Oh, her name is Ellen Ruth Rose. So since we both are Ellen Ruths, she said, Ellen, I think you should write a piece for viola and flute. I mean, flute and viola, but for her, of course, I guess viola comes first. And I thought that was a great idea, and I felt that these, and I had, this was after I had the experience at the German restaurant, and so that's why I decided to use that instrumentation, which I think really works for this. It's a beautiful combination. And I think that's all I have for now. So thanks again.
Thank you. After the show today, we're going to have an opportunity for a little Q&A. So if you're interested in asking some questions about Ellen or the piece, please stick around. up is Manhattan Serenades by Gabriella Front. hope you're all having a great time. We're having a lot of fun. And it's eclectic if nothing else, right? Good. Well, now for something completely different. My name's Ty, if you haven't gathered. And I've written the next piece. It's called Pan Dances. It all started one fateful night when Dylan said, "Hey, Ty, I've got this instrument. I think you should write for it." I said, "Really? Tell me all about it." He said, "Well, it's a steel pan." I'm like, "Well, that sounds fun. It's homemade." "Okay. It's out of tune." "Interesting. It's missing notes." "Really?" And then it has this wonderful jang to it. So, of course, this was all very interesting to me. So anyway, I invite you all after the show to come up and take a look at this instrument. If you know what a steel pan is, of course, it's what you hear in close-up music. But it was developed and designed in a way so it follows the circle of fifths around, so you have all tones available to you. This one doesn't do that. It's more like a circle of tritones in its own weird way. It's D-ish, but kind of more B-ish, depending on how you stand around the drum. So it's kind of fun. So the first set of pieces I did for him was called Pan Songs. And it was a piece for solo instrument, and we had a chance to really kind of investigate the sounds of the instrument, which was a lot of fun. Developed our own sense of notation, which completely went out the window. We developed a whole secondary sense, sort of notation for the second piece here. So whereas the first piece was kind of an investigation of the instrument as itself, this piece is a kind of exploration of what do you do with this with other people. And it's a lot of fun. It's a quirky instrument, so these are quirky dances. And I think you'll have a good time. I think you'll enjoy it. And afterward, please come up and at the end of the show, take a look at this instrument. Dylan loves to share. Thank you.
Because without him, this drum would be indestructible. So thank you to Ty for writing this. It sat in my basement, many basements where I lived for 10 years. And I didn't touch it. I couldn't, because it sounded so terrible. And somehow, it took on a personality and a destiny of its own. And so, really looking forward to presenting this piece to you, but also to the pieces that will follow.
thank you, everybody. That was lovely. We're going to take a brief intermission, maybe 10 minutes. We have a lot of stuff, actually. So we're going to move a few things. We're going to check a few things. This next up is Missy Mazzoli's Tooth and Nail from viola and playback. See you in 10. This next piece is by Missy Mazzoli. It's called Tooth and Nail. You'll read about it. Be careful. Mom says be careful. So this next piece by Missy Mazzoli is called Tooth and Nail. You've read about it hopefully in your program notes. It's really fascinating, this whole piece. The playback, I hit play and it goes, and Brian will be going along, he's following the score, and he's got wearing an earpiece with a click track in his ear. It's all new for us, but it's a lot of fun. The playback itself is made up of sounds from the viola, so it's kind of like a counterpoint with itself, which is really cool. And I hope you enjoy it. This is Missy Mazzoli's Tooth and Nail. been working away at that thing. And like I said before, it's you kind of hit play and it goes, so it's relentless. And as a rehearsal, as a practice, it can be really challenging. You can't just like, hey, let's start a rehearsal A or B or whatever. You have to like track it out. So it's really hard. It was a single track too. But anyway, fabulous job, Brian. Up next, one of my favorite pieces ever. I'm so glad that we can share this with you. Very Trio by Lou Harrison. I heard somebody earlier go, oh, I love Lou Harrison. Yes. Lou Harrison is an amazing composer. For those who don't know, he's in some ways one of the more important. He's been connected to so many different people throughout the 20th century. He was not only a student of Arnold Schoenberg in LA, but he was also a student of Henry Cowell in San Francisco. Lou Harrison was also connected, of course, to John Cage, and he was responsible for conducting the premiere of Ives' Third Symphony, which won the Pulitzer. I mean, he's been everywhere, done everything. He was a pet nurse. He was a critic for newspapers in New York. He was there at the first happenings. I mean, this guy did everything. He was fascinated by gamelan music, Japanese music, you name it. He grew up listening to Chinese opera and all kinds of things in the early part of the 20th century. And he was responsible for bringing gamelan to the United States. For those of you who may have caught the performance with Jody Diamond over at the Museum of Art a bunch of years ago, she brought Old Granddad out from MIT. That was Lou Harrison's first actual gamelan he created. So it's just some cool stuff. And this piece is quintessential Lou. It is a combination of all kinds of elements from Renaissance dance. He was a dance performer. He would sit in on dance class and they would say, hey, play a rondeau, and he would create a rondeau. And he knew lava notation. And so he brings all of those elements to bear, as well as pots and pans and rice bowls and all kinds of homemade things. I think Lou would have really loved that pan. So there's all these different elements, all these different styles. It was originally written for friends, for him and his partner Bill to play with other people. And so we're really pleased to bring it to you as our group of friends playing Lou Harrison's Varied Trio. Thank you. just gonna bust. Thank you.
You know what? I just have to take this opportunity because you all don't know this, but Ty gives himself 110% to this endeavor. Anything I need, oh, do you need a part? Do you need this? Do you need that? Do you need this stand light? He has gone so far above and beyond to make this performance happen.
Very sweet. I'll get him later. What the hell's next? Oh, yeah. Okay. Well, I hope you enjoyed the Harrison as much as I did. I think they did a fabulous job. Thank you again for coming today on a practically balmy January day. So before we play our last piece, it's time for those reminders about surveys. I hope you've all had a chance to fill one out. If you haven't, that's okay. If you want to hang out with us, drop it off at the end, that's great. If you want to go online, go to our website. It's printed in the program, and you can go to our survey. It's right on the front page. It's a link. We'll capture it digitally. That's great. Also, if you are so moved, there's an opportunity to donate either online or with the hat in the back. As a reminder, if you haven't already, and if you were so inclined, we would love for you to join our email list so we can keep you directly up to date with what's going on with the band. Also, join us on Facebook. We have our Facebook page available, and we post all of our posters there. Oh, by the way, I failed to mention, my wife, Erin McLean, does all the posters for our band. She's a fabulous artist, so you can see her work too. We keep everything archived on the website. So thank you, Erin. Okay. All right, so Facebook, emails, surveys, donations, and all right. So lastly, before we bring out the last piece, the Piazzolla, I would like to invite you all to hang out. Of course, there's the percussion petting zoo, and there will also be an opportunity to ask Ellen some questions about her piece and her career after our show. Thank you so much.
give us a second to set up a couple of chairs so you can ask questions to Ellen Ruth Harris.
So you answered the first question I had was why Yola? I mean, it seems like such a ironic combination, but I certainly don't know. If you handle it, history is so interesting to me, practically colors and different. So let's talk about maybe how you got to that once you decided that was your college. So yeah, so give us your background.
Che Guevara was killed in
So these pieces that you work with, are you the kind of composer that only works when there's an ask or a commission, or like a deadline or a place where it's going to play, or are you the kind of composer who's like, this is what's in my head, and this is what's happening, and kind of go from there and make everything after?
Well, both, actually. I mean, yeah, I didn't have to write a set, obviously. I just feel like I should, and I'm just kind of excited about it. I met her when she was 16, just she just finished. And her bio said, "Born and raised in Illinois," and I'm like, "Oh my God." festival, a music festival around town, and wants to, the conductor is retiring after 10 years, so she wants to have a little piece with it. But other than that, I actually plan on trying to write Chamberlain's piece again, because it's been a while since I've written Chamberlain's. So no, I just, for me, I'll try to scramble my way around with my performance at that,
Cincinnati Institute of Music.
Yeah.
It's a pretty, I guess. Lots of good things have come through here. Second, and so you see a lot of students kind of go through. Tell us a little bit about like what you see is happening in that sort of incubator of American music.
Well, first of all, I'm like on the edge there, right? I'm agile. So I don't always, yes, I actually, make education come out cheap. That's my donation to the world. So anyway, right now I'm actually not even teaching in the composition department, even though that's where when I got promotion to the associate, they actually used me in composition, but I basically do sabbatical plays and this well, actually in February, somebody wrote it's unfortunately an operation. But no, I teach a critical listening class, which is a terrible name, in the Bachelor of Arts program. Terrible name because I think I know why the name, but I think it's a good thing to have. But I think for the students, they might think that it's almost kind of scary. So, but anyway, that gets a lot of fun. It's like a survey class, but through a composer's view. So they have to all write a blues, and they have to, just remember that second write a blues and sing part. And they have to write their composition and I love it, so. And they can anything they want, so it's like, but, so not just a regular music degree. But I think, how is it changing? I feel like the music has gotten a lot more kind of tonal, listener friendly, maybe. And more than that, I don't know, I feel like songs are really, more into the shape music. Just when I first got there, I felt that was a little bit of my shape. So that's kind of nice. Like, maybe more, there was kind of some background shape that I didn't hear. That kind of thing, so I feel like I can hear it right now. I just maybe you study something. So, I'm not like that.
Any other questions from the audience? Do you want to ask anything?
What composers are doing? Like, what the hell are you doing? I get that question. Do you get that question? What the hell is that? Well, we had a Zoom session where musicians had a chance to play and it was really, really helpful. So, if not anything, we have at least something to be thankful for coming out of there. We all have these big Zoom jobs. So it was a fabulous experience. I hope you had a good time with us.
Incredible. I mean, well, they helped me redo the piece, and you helped all those questions. I felt like you knew the piece better than I did. So that was really awesome. It was just very different. I'm glad.
Yes, the performance was fabulous. Okay, can't keep you any longer. Thank you for being such a great school.